Hey team, welcome to the trade of the day. Look, a very, very exciting one here today. It's going to be Rivian. But what I want to talk about first is just how do you decide what stocks to look at? We have a watch list here, watchlist.TraderTV.Live. I also have my sticky note, and I just want to talk about it because you come in today and you hear that Ford had possible visions of a collaboration, obviously with Rivian, and you can see right here, Ford calls off plans to collab. Look for a 120 break short, right? So if we minimize that, and then we'll look forward at where the stock was coming from, right? And I think that's the most important thing, is to say, okay, you know what? We have the way we want to go. You're going to look here, all the purple indications are all shorts. So right away, right off the open, we were only looking for short. And how did we find some of those short levels? Well, I mean, I just kind of went back here and really indicated this high going back to, I guess, the second or third day before we ripped up. This is on their IPO. It just came out at 106.50, right? Ripped all the way to 108. Now we're actually back down and just bottom ticked. That bottom today is 106.90. Very, very close to that IPO price. But we just find this level here about 132 or so. That's the level that we looked at for, hey, if we're going to be wrong, where are we going to be wrong to? About 132. And then look at this. We identified this 120. It bounced off 120 last week, okay? If there was going to be negative news today, that's the level that we wanted to look at. And that's right here, 120. So the very first trade that I take, I'm sort of off taking big prints off the open. So let the open settle down. Rivian does its little dance here on open. You can see big, big red candles. The first 4 minutes, all red candles. And we actually participated in one of those. So the market opens up, we let it settle down a couple minutes, then it takes down 120. We have to go short. The high of that moment right there on the day, 125. This is the best part about this trade. As soon as a level is built and we can see, so we sort of forgot about this 132 now. We're actually now using some of these pre-market highs, 125-ish as our high. So we get in and right away we get out. That's $1.50. We took out half of the trade for that $1.50. It happened so quickly. It happened in the next minute. Tanks all the way down. We actually get the bottom of that play. Just took it out for $1.50 just because. No real reason. The move stopped there at 108, 118. So we actually took it a little bit lower, 119, 118.50 there. Then all of a sudden, we get what turns out to be the biggest gift of the day in the market, in my opinion. There's a few others out there, but on Rivian anyways. This bump up right here started to catch a bid around 9:45. All we did was say thank you, and then we had too many shares. So by this time, we have a decent position on because we only got out of half there. Load it up, and look what happens. That 125, we come within ticks of getting out of that. That basically ticked to like 125 and change. We're probably using 125.50 or so as our out. Another pro tip, we don't use exact levels as our out. Those are ideas, they're area stops. That comes down. Then we're like, uh-oh, we're getting nervous. Let's take a little piece out. So I get some out at 124. Okay, now we're like, all right, now we have this stock. And you can see it drop all the way back down. We get out at that 120 again in case that's a level. So by this point, man, we're we're like $3, $4 in the money. Then, hallelujah, it all opens up, man. The floodgates open up and we crack. Now we start to, I'm getting excited now. I'm not even in the trade. It starts to crack to the downside and then you see it move, man. This is where it's exciting. We're watching this thing absolutely crash all the way back down. Look at this price, 106.90, man, or that's right here, 106.90. Takes out 108 there. We're like, yeah, this is great. At one point, we were $13 or so in the money off of a 125 short right there, $13 in the money at 108. Then all of a sudden comes back in and then look, I used 110, 111 as my out. Why? Because we had some bottoms right here. Just nervous that we take this out and we continue to fly higher. Look, it turned out to be a good out because we wind up getting out at 111 or so. It takes a move up to 114, all the way back down there to 106. Rivian, the key thing about this trade for me was we had the bias to begin with. We're only short Rivian here. We get out, that's a big win, about $12, $13 or so on that. So good trade for us. Like I said, we actually had $17 or so at 108 when we were short 125, but we give some back. That's Rivian. It's your trade of the day. Well based out. Technical breaks gave it to you. Rivian, let's continue to go short.